Alright, so the last thing that we need to learn is what to do when our figures have a different orientation. So as you can see when you're looking at our rectangles, the first one is laying the long way, and the second one is laying the tall way. So this makes the job of finding the corresponding sides a little bit more challenging. So the short side in my first rectangle is 7, and the short side in my second rectangle is 9. The long side in my first rectangle is 13, and the long side in my second rectangle is y. So that's step 2, setting up that proportion, and then we're going to solve. My variable's in the denominator, so I'm going to go ahead and flip my ratios. And solving by canceling that denominator using the golden rule, I'm going to multiply both sides by 13. On the right-hand side, my 13's cancel, leaving me with y. On the left-hand side, I have no common factors, so I'm going to have to multiply 9 by 13. Now remember, I'm going to show my work, but typically I would do this in my head. 13 is 10 plus 3 times 9. 10 times 9 is 90. 3 times 9 is 27, so when I add those together, I get 117, not losing my denominator, sevenths. All right, one more for some extra practice. Same thing, determine which sides are corresponding. So looking at my first figure, I have 8 is the shorter of the two sides that I know. Looking at my second figure, 12 is the shorter of the two sides. I hope you guys can see that my quadrilaterals were just flipped. Finishing my proportion, 12 is the longer side in my first figure, and 2n plus 2 is the longer side in my second figure, so that's my proportion. Once I have it, I go ahead and solve. There's several different ways to do this. I'm noticing that 8 and 12, my first ratio, have a common factor, so before I flip it, I'm going to divide both of them by 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. Since I did that, I now have that relationship. 2 times 6 equals 12, so 3 times 6 equals 2n plus 2. That way I can solve without having to mess with the denominators. 3 times 6 equals 18. To solve for n, first thing I'm going to do is subtract 2. I'm subtracting 2 to cancel on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, 18 minus 2 is 16. And dividing both sides by 2 cancels on the right-hand side. 16 divided by 2 is 8. And your U-try problems.